Hello everyone, it's Brian Rufkahr again with Schneider Real Estate. I'm doing another segment of Tuesday's Tip. So today we're going to be talking about earnest money. I want to first explain what earnest money is so that you're familiar with it. I also want to explain how you could potentially lose it. And then I want to also go over how to utilize it to your advantage in a multiple offer situation. So first things first, we'll explain what earnest money is. Essentially, earnest money is consider it like a non-refundable deposit. It does get credited towards you, and it's the buy side that this comes from, but it does get credited towards you in your closing. So you will eventually get this money back. But essentially what it is whenever you write a contract and sign on the dotted line to offer for a property, you will put up earnest money. It's typically going to be 1% of the total purchase price. So for a $300,000 home, that would be $3,000. This is something that gets delivered to the title company, which is like a third party, unbiased person that kind of helps between the buyer and seller and helps with the transaction and the money and the transfer of everything. So usually it's within 3 business days that the earnest money is delivered. You can either, hand deliver it, give them a check. They do wire transfer, all different types of things. But essentially what that is, again, is them holding in what's called an escrow account. And if we do not perform on our side of the contract with the things that we've agreed to, it's something that you can lose. But they hold it until the very end, until we get to closing. So then I'm going to go into how to lose it. There's a couple different ways you can lose it. The most common really though would be if somebody just got cold feet and woke up one morning and said, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. Well, there's now a price that you have to pay. And that $3,000 is now going to the seller because you agreed to something and you did not perform on the contract. So that's compensation for them. So a common way that you would get it back in a sense would be, let's say you had a contingency that was for inspections, which is a very common contingency, or a financial contingency. So the contingency is something within the contract that allows you to kind of do checks, and if there's something wrong, it allows you to back out of the contract and keep your earnest money. So let's say you got an inspection on a home and it came back with a crack in the foundation and you're like, that's a little bit over my head, I don't want to mess with this. Well, you can back out of the contract. That earnest money will, as long as you're within your timelines and have met your deadlines, you can get that earnest money back and back out of the contract. Now, if it was after the deadline, or like that first situation where you just woke up and, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, that's where you would lose your earnest money. Now, the final thing I want to explain, especially in the market that we're in today, it's currently a seller's market. So a lot of the times when you're on the buy side, you are going into multiple offer situations. Every little tiny bit and strategic way that you can kind of set yourself apart from the competition, it really does help you and your client win. So one of the ways, and I actually used this with a client not too long ago, is to increase the amount of earnest money that you're putting up. So instead of the 1%, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a percentage, it's more kind of whatever you feel comfortable doing. But let's say, just for all intents and purposes, instead of $3,000, you wanted to double that and you wanted to put $6,000. Again, you're going to get it back. But what that basically shows the seller is that you're putting your money where your mouth is. You're also putting more on the line than the average person. So that lets them know that, let's say something does fall through, well, they're going to be compensated more than a normal person. But again, it gives them confidence that, like, hey, we're not messing around. We're going to perform. We're going to follow all the deadlines. And we're willing to actually risk more than the average person to show you that that's what we're going to do. So it's just that added bit of confidence that really pushes maybe you over the top over somebody else. So those are the basic concepts. If you have any questions or anything else that you need in regards to real estate, you and your friends or family, I'd be more than happy to help you with anything that you need. You can call or text me, and I'll have my information here, and would love to work with you and anybody else. And if anybody has any topics that they would like me to cover, any specific situations or anything like that that they would like me to discuss, please leave a comment or, reach out to me, and I'd be more than happy to try to go over that in one of these videos. But other than that, until next time, and hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.